know these are long videos, but you know, I have to get my point across. This is a, I can't remember what this was. Some rapper or something had this car built. It was a fastback version. Now this is something else I do too. I take these old advertisements. It's an old advertisement from the 30s, and I make my thing out of it. I lowered this 35 sedan, I lowered this Model A, I lowered this Dodge, I lowered, put my logos on them, and you know, try to make it look old. Hartman Coach Works. Back then, it wasn't too many custom car shops that said customizing. There were some speed shops, Hartman Auto Parts. I left that up there. I thought it was cool, but just reminiscent of the old days of advertising. And I have my lunch bar here. I have a Hartman. I have a Hartman something over there. I don't remember what it was. I think I was going to say that was manufacturing. See, how to be an entrepreneur in the 30s. Your name meant everything, because a lot of people back then, they'd use their first and last name to advertise. That was the title, like Joe Richards clothing or something. Your name meant everything, unlike today when, you know, it doesn't really matter. That's some stuff I was trying to make. It didn't look that good. So here's some logo stuff. This here is actually hand done, except for the custom card. I did this, my God, it must have been 25 years ago. So what I did is I scanned it, put it on here, and blocked it all off and did it in purple. And here's my little 37 delivery. Here's another one back here in the back I had. I give, like, I think $300 for this whole thing. I thought that was kind of made a nice picture. It was a good little car. Had to sell it though. When I got diabetes, they found out my eyes were really screwed up from retinopathy, and I didn't really have the insurance. 55 Chevy owned in the early 80s, 72 or 1, I think, Camaro, my brother's Monte Carlo. This was at my shop in Lamarck, Texas. Now here's something here. This is me and my brother, Danny. This is me. This was 1960, I think. This is my dad's 36 Chevy pickup with his pinstriping. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? He did the hood louvers. He had a louver press that he did press by hand to do the louvers. But yeah, that's me and my brother. I think that was about the closest we ever been back then. Yes, I have some pictures like that. Now here's a little logo that I was working on for Hartman Custom Cars. Standing behind my 37. What I was wanting to do, I would still like to do this. If I had the money, I would do it. A consulting agency. And what I would do is when somebody wanted their car built, you know, they have to have the money. You know, I'm not interested in no $20,000 bill. We're talking $100,000 and up. And the problem is, a lot of these guys, they do not know where to go to have a car built, you know, with someone that's responsible, someone that's dependable and honest. And I do know some shops, and I have done some of this. And that's what I was going to do, you know, high-end vehicles, customized hot rods, just anything. But, you know, it's just dealing with people, man. Here's my wagon after I got it done, before I sold it. This is our little duplex we lived in. It was real countrified. Anyway, it was a good-looking car. I'd like to have another one. Okay, one more thing here. Let's see. I took this concept that Chevy came out with, I think in the 90s. And I did my thing to it. I made this, did this. This was going to be an actual car. It was going to be the Chevy Delivery. I mean, I'm sorry, the Nomad. And there's no wagon. And here's another one of my wagon, a 67 Nova. Let's save. And this is pretty cool. My daughter, she had a Nova, and we sold a little Chevy too, 63 model. We had 6-cylinder. We built that and did all the paint work. She was like 14, 15, and then, you know, it starts getting crazy. You know, kids get. It's kind of ironic here. Both these cars are flamed, and both of them are sitting in the snow. Isn't that funny? Kind of funny. Yeah, one of the rare snows we have here in Texas. It has a bunch of license plates I do. You know, I think I ever able to afford some cars again. Here's a Porsche that I made. Actually, this is a concept of a wagon. And so I made my thing to it. Yeah, I'm a carpalist. Not, you know, capitalist, carpalist. All right. Oh, that's what that was. Yeah, that was, no, that's Prius. That's Prius van. They have some of those over in Europe. So yeah, I ruined it. Ruined a lot of cars. Okay, let's see here. My friend sent this to me a couple years back. This is one that I did many years ago. Little flames on a 34 Ford Vicky. I forgot all about that. There it is. A little striping on the back. I think that car's still around San Antonio. All right, here's a little van I did some lowering on. I like those little short wheelbase vans. I had a 66 Dodge. I think they're called A100s or something. Had it for a while. My dad let me have it. Slant 6. Yeah, I'm dreaming, see? I'm dreaming. Bentley in front of a jet. I can't even afford a damn... Sorry, no damn. I can't even afford a dead gum model airplane. I can, but there's a Rose Cullinan. I kind of like those. I mean, you know, 450,000. I sure can buy a lot of hot rods with that. Okay, here's that Rolls Royce I showed you earlier. I think this is like a 2000s something model, maybe 2010. I put some slots on it and lowered it and did this. Still has the door. I did this to it. I think you get my drift where I'm going here. Now here's one here that's interesting. This is me. I think I was around 4, 5 maybe. This here is I think a 59 Cadillac or a 60. Funny thing is, my nephew has a 60 Cadillac, 4-door, bagged, sits on the ground. Pretty neat. Now here's something here you may not know of. This is called the Rolls Royce Sweatback. This cost $13 million to build and do all this back here. 13 million. I don't even like it. My panel truck I built. Here it is when I think the second day I had, I pulled the motor out of it. This is our house we had in Lockhart, Texas. It was up off the ground. It was all rustic looking. Had a 40-foot. This was my garage. This was my garage. It got to the point where I had a yard full of cars I was buying and selling. And it was a lot of fun. There's no window. Had one-piece window. Had like an 85 Chevy front end underneath it, bolted right in. Torque thrust. I put a 350 Chevy in. Everything's all painted real nice underneath. I worked on that thing for about 2 years off and on. Let's see. See, this is old. That was in the 50s. Custom shop. Now this is that Porsche wagon. This is the Porsche wagon. I think you get that. Let's see here. I sure hope this turns out good, guys. I don't know. It's got a lot of squiggly lines. But you can live with the line. Porsche Sport Turismo. They are fast. Here's one here. This is the another Tesla. This is that wagon. Let's see here. I appreciate everybody here bearing with me. Now, this is something I really like. I dig this. This is back in the 60s. I think this is on Van Nuys in California, in LA. And, you know, big cruising back then. Look at all these little rancheros all jacked up. Slots and this chick in front of this. I dig this paint job, man. I love that. I tell you what, I would put that on a brand new Tahoe or Suburban. I think people, I did probably put me in that house, but that's okay. Let's see here. About done here. Here's I did this a few years ago when I thought I was gonna get me a Suburban. Lowered. I'd take the running boards off. I don't like that crap. So anyway, that's pretty much it for tonight on cars. This is why, you know, we don't want EVs to take over. We don't want the administration to try to kill our cars, because there's a lot of passion in these things. A lot of things, a lot goes into it. And we do not want to get rid of our vehicles. You know, whoever's watching this, I'm sure you don't either. Get out of this. Close all this up. We don't want to we don't want to get rid of our cars. I mean, we love our cars. They're our lives. They mean a lot to us. So we'll see how it goes, and what's going to happen is, if I tell you what, if I had the money, SEMA, SEMA, they're an organization for the specialty aftermarket, which is like a $50-60 billion industry. I think it's more than that. That's just retail. I think total it's 100, because the auto industry is $2 trillion. So tell you what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna stop this video and I'm gonna continue on. This video is an hour long.